Okay, it has been a minute since we did a YouTube episode. In the last 6 months, I have found out that my husband and I are expecting our first kid. So we're pregnant and we have sold our house, bought a new one, launched 2 new 6-figure offers inside the business. And overall, just have to say, the last 6 months have been filled with a lot of one thing, and that is decisions. And I wanted to kick off the relaunch of the YouTube channel with a video on that topic. How, as business owners, do we make tough decisions in our business? Now, tough decisions doesn't mean bad decisions, right? Tough decisions doesn't mean that it's negative, but from everything from choosing the right social media strategy for you, choosing your business model, deciding on what you're going to sell and how you're going to deliver it and how you're going to package it all together, to other things like how you're going to pay yourself as an online business owner, how you're going to scale your business, how you're going to grow and manage a team. All of these things require us to make decisions. And I don't know about you, but sometimes all of that decision making can feel a little overwhelming, a little exhausting. And I have really honed in over the last several years on how to make decisions in my business quickly and with very little stress. So I want to share my decision-making process with you today because you're making decisions in your business every single day. Some are big, some are small, some are seemingly insignificant, some are very significant. And I want you to have a tool in your toolbox that's going to allow you to make decisions quickly and effortlessly. Because as entrepreneurs, the faster that we are able to make decisions and execute on those decisions, the faster we will grow and the faster we will hit our goals and start seeing meaningful results in what we're doing. So my name is Maylea. I grew my personal brand from no sales to consistent 20K months in 90 days. And today I give entrepreneurs the blueprint to automate your sales so that you can build a business that works for you 24/7. So you don't have to work 24/7. And I have to say, when I go back to that origin story, something people ask me all the time, Jordan, how did you grow your business so quickly? How have you then been able to grow your business from, that very first 20K month to a business that's done multiple 7 figures in sales, that's powered by multiple income streams, that really doesn't require a ton of your time to run from week to week? And it really all comes back down to the decisions I made as a brand new business owner before I'd ever made a single sale, and the decisions I continue to make on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual basis within my business and my brand. Now, do I always get it right? Do I always make the right decision? Absolutely not, right? Decision making is an art of trial and error. And sometimes you're going to make decisions and you're going to look back and you'll be like, man, that was so smart of me. I'm so glad I did that. And sometimes you're going to make a decision and you're going to look back and you're going to go, wow, that was kind of dumb. I shouldn't have done that, right? That's just part of life. That's just part of business. But it really, really helps when you have a formula for making your decisions, kind of a guiding light, so to speak, so that you don't get stuck in the analysis paralysis, the perfectionism, the comparison-itis, the fear of missing out, that feeling of, oh my gosh, this person's doing this thing, maybe I should do this thing, maybe, this person's saying this is the best way to do it, so maybe I should do that. There's so much noise out there in the entrepreneurial space that if you don't have your own internal guiding system, it can be really hard to shut out that noise and really hard to make the right decisions for you and your business. So one thing I say frequently to my students, my clients, is there's no such thing as a right decision and a wrong decision in your business. There's only what is right or wrong for you. So I'm gonna help you dive in and figure that out today. So let's get into it. I've got some notes here So if you see me looking down, that's where that's coming from. I just wanted to have like a casual style chat with you today. So I'm just like recording this on my phone with a little ring light behind me. There's no mic, there's no fancy setup, there's no fancy editing. This is just you and me having a little heart-to-heart chat, okay? About something that's been really big in my life over the last 6 months, but really over the last 6 years. And I think it's gonna serve you very, very well. So let's get into it. Really, it comes down to 4 main things, okay? Making decisions in your business. And like I said, you can apply this to anything. You can apply it to choosing a social media strategy, both like choosing a platform and then actually even taking that a step further and choosing like your content schedule and your content plan. You can apply this to the softwares that you choose to use to run and operate your business. You can apply it to developing paid offers, paid programs, to hiring and growing and scaling a team. You can apply it to anything, but it all comes down to, no matter what decision you're making in your business, it comes down to these 4 things. And the very first is vision, okay? So I define vision as the crystal clear picture of where you are going, combined with the unshakable belief that you will get there. Okay, vision is a picture that you hold in your mind of your future, of the life that you are choosing to create. And your business is a part of that, but the biggest mistake that I see entrepreneurs making is they make business decisions without consulting their personal life vision first. So you've got to start with vision. And before you can even think about your business, before you ever make another single decision regarding your business, you need to have a crystal clear vision for your life, okay? So there's many ways to do this. A simple way is to sit down with a blank notebook. I recommend doing this in a quiet place where there's not a lot of people around, where you can really just be alone with your thoughts and alone with your imagination for anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. And I want you to fast forward 5 years from now, and I want you to write out, as if you were writing a movie script, your perfect day. If you could fast forward 5 years into the future and create your perfect day, what would that look like? Where would you wake up? Who would you wake up next to? What would your routine be as you go through your morning, your afternoon, your evening, your bedtime routine? Who do you interact with? What are you doing throughout the day? How are you spending your time? More than that, how do you feel? The more emotion you can pack into this exercise, the better and more impactful it's going to be for you. So you want to tap into all 5 of your senses and imagine that you're back in some like creative writing course and you are writing a story of your perfect day as if it is happening right now. Now here's the caveat. This perfect day can't be a vacation day. It can't be Christmas Day. It can't be, some like wild event that's gonna happen, maybe once or twice in a lifetime. This should be like an ordinary day that just so happens to be existing within your extraordinary life. So I always like to think, okay, it's a Monday. Like, it's a Monday in September. September is like one of my favorite months of the year. So we'll just say like, it's a Monday in September. What does my life look like 5 years from now on a random Monday in September? And you want to write this in present tense. You want to write this in first person, and you want to write it as creatively and emotionally as you possibly can. Once you get that done, now you get to do the same exercise again, but this time for your business. Because if you're like most of us as entrepreneurs, we become business owners in order to create a business, to create something that we believe will fulfill our personal vision. And we might not have that much awareness around it when we first get started. We might not really have it clear. But at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? We started a business because we believed it would help us have a better life. So now that you have your personal vision, create a business vision that matches it, okay? And so now you got to say, okay, this is my personal vision. What does my business need to look like in order to make that personal vision a reality? How much money do I need to be making? How much time do I need to be spending working my business on a daily, weekly basis for it to fit within that vision? What kind of people am I serving? What am I known for? What is really what does it feel like to be the person, to have the business that's created that perfect day? What does it feel like to be the person who built the business that created that perfect day? Okay? That's what you want to do with your business vision. And those two things, once you get them done, will become your guiding light in literally everything that you do. And I recommend revisiting your personal and business vision at the very least once a year, but also in light of any major life changes or events that might alter or adjust that vision. So for example, back in 2016, which it's hard to believe that was like 8 years ago now, I went through a divorce. So this vision that I had created didn't exist anymore, right? And it took me some time, it took me some months. I was grieving, I was going through a really hard time. It was a really toxic, not great situation. And it wasn't something that it's like I, walked into my new 1-bedroom apartment with my 2 dogs and sat down that afternoon and created this amazing vision. It took me some time to get in a headspace where I would allow myself to dream again and allow myself to do that again. But it wasn't until I did that I started to actually feel like I was moving forward again in my life. Now, on the flip side of that, you've got life experiences that are really great. Like back in November, when my husband and I found out we were pregnant after 2 years of trying to start a family, now all of a sudden I had something tangible to dream about, right? It wasn't this obscure day in the future. It was, I had, a timeline and dates and a real tiny human that I got to dream about and visualize my life around. And so I updated my vision then. Okay, so when I recommend updating your vision on an annual basis, but then also anytime your life experiences some kind of milestone or event that might alter or adjust that vision. Okay, so that's step 1. You've got to start with vision. Step 2 is you've got to create goals that serve the vision. And I like to break my goals down into 3 categories. I create annual goals, I create quarterly goals, and I create monthly goals. My annual goals are pretty broad, okay? I think a lot of entrepreneurs slow themselves down by setting annual goals that are too specific. We are in a fast-paced, fast-changing world. If you try to create goals and an action plan, especially an action plan for a 12-month business plan, you are just setting yourself up for disappointment and ultimately, I'm just being honest, failure. Like, I really do believe that because there's too many moving pieces. There's no way we can predict what actions we need to take in our business for an entire year in order to, we just can't predict it. Things are going to change. Things are going to happen. Things that we think will work won't work. Things that we think might not be that great could end up being incredible. So I really try to stay away from like annual action plans. But you do want to have annual goals. And so for me, typically an annual goal is typically just I'll set one and it's usually a revenue goal, right? In my business, I'll set an annual revenue goal. And then from there, you want to create monthly goal or quarterly goals that serve that annual goal. So, okay, if my goal is to make $100,000 this year, then how much do I need to make every quarter? Well, you could say, okay, I need to make 25 grand a quarter, but you could also say, okay, well, there's a pretty good chance that I'm going to make more in the last quarter of this year than I'm going to make in the first quarter, right? Especially if you're in the beginning stages, you're just kind of getting the ball rolling. You don't have a lot going on in your business yet in terms of sales. Your first quarter might be $10,000. Your second quarter might be $30,000. Your third quarter might be, $40,000. Like, so break it down by quarter on like, okay, this is my annual goal. And then this is how I'd like that goal to materialize over the quarter. Okay. Once you have your quarterly goals, I want you to take, so you've got 4, okay? You've got the quarter that you're in now, plus 3 more. I want you to take those 3 and I want you to just put them away. Put them in a drawer, put them in a little box in your brain and stick them in the back shelf. Like, don't think about them because they're not relevant right now. We're gonna focus on this quarter, the next 3 months, the next 90 days, because working in 90-day increments is one of the best ways to see measurable progress in your business. We will so overestimate what we can get done in a year, but you will so underestimate what you can get done in 90 days of focus. And I know a lot of people say the opposite, but I believe when you really focus on 90-day increments, you can look back over those 3 months and be like, holy moly, I got a lot done. I made measurable progress. I crushed it. And where we don't make that measurable progress is typically because we're focused too far out. We're focused too big picture. We're focused on too many things. So narrow your focus this quarter. This is what we're focusing on. And then from there, you want to make a goal for this month. Okay, so if your quarterly goal is to make $25,000, what's your goal for this month? Okay, now once you have your goal for this month, and I typically, when I'm thinking goals in this sense, I genuinely do think about revenue. Okay, my annual goal, my quarterly revenue goal, and now my monthly revenue goal. Now that I have a monthly revenue goal, I need a monthly action plan. How am I going to make that revenue happen? How many courses do I need to sell? How many clients do I need to bring in? What needs to happen? So that brings us to step 3, step 3, which is your action plan. So you've got your vision. I'm going to do it this way. You got your vision, that then you create goals that serve that vision, and then you create action plans that serve those goals. Okay. So when you have your monthly revenue goal, you say, okay, what needs to happen this month in order to hit that revenue goal? What do I need to do? And so for me, we actually use a digital platform to do this in our business. And me and my team all have access to it. And the way that it works is we say, okay, these are the projects that need to happen. This is the sales that need to happen in order to hit this goal, okay? So typically, if you're using sales funnels in your business, this becomes so easy because it really just becomes about knowing your numbers. So it's like, okay, if I need to sell 10 digital courses this month at $300 a piece to hit my revenue goal of $3,000, then how many people need to go through my funnel in order to get 10 sales? And if I need that many people to go through my funnel, how much traffic do I need in order to generate that many people going through my funnel? And now you have very clear goals of, I need 1,000 people to hit the opt-in page for my funnel. I need 300 of them to opt in, and I need 10 to buy. That's just totally made up numbers. Don't do the math on those and use those as your goals. I don't even know what those numbers are. I just made it up right now. But that's how you know. And you've got, okay, so then now your question becomes, what do I need to do to get 1,000 people to land on this opt-in page? And that becomes, okay, you've got free traffic, which is your organics, your social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, whatever, your email list if you've got one, which you should. And then you've got paid traffic options, ads, right? And depending on the season of life you're in, might depend on, are you putting more of your effort? Do you have more time to spend or do you have more money to spend? Are you going to put more of your effort into free traffic strategies? You're going to put your money into paid traffic strategies. And if you are a Laptop Lifestyle Academy student, then I talk all the time about, like, once your funnels are set up, your only job is to drive traffic to those funnels. Because once they're set up and they're proven to convert, you just have to drive traffic to them and everything else takes care of itself. And this is what I mean when I say that. If you're like, oh my gosh, I need 10 sales this month, that means I need 1,000 people on my opt-in page. You're not thinking about the sales. You're not worried about the sales. You're not even spending any thought at all on those sales. Because you know if you can get those 1,000 people to the page, then boom, you get the sales, okay? So that right there is an example of an action plan. Now, there's other things that have to happen in our business, right? We don't only get to, create content and drive traffic to funnels. So in our monthly, weekly, daily action plans, you've got your daily like administrative tasks, the things that just have to happen. So like for me, those are things like every single day I've got to check our financials. We've got to take care of our clients, answer client questions, answer student questions in our paid communities. We've got daily actions that we do in our business. You've got weekly actions that you do in your business. You've got monthly actions that you do in your business. And some of those are just the repetitive, redundant things that we do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, no matter what. And then some of those are more project-based. Like if you're building out a new funnel or developing a new offer or overhauling something or updating a course or whatever. So when I'm sitting down for the month and making my goals, yes, I have my revenue goal and my traffic goal, and that's, the action plan for making that happen. But I also include anything else that needs to happen that month that's going to overall contribute to the quarterly, annual goals that I have, okay? So sometimes that means like, okay, in order to hit that big revenue goal at the end of the year, we need another offer. We need something else that we sell. We need more recurring revenue, like whatever it is. Sometimes you're going to spend some time taking action in one quarter for something that might not make you money that quarter, but it's going to serve you and make you money in Q2, Q3, Q4, whatever, right? So those are just some examples, some things to think about. So that's the first three. You got your vision, you got your goals, you got your action plans. And every single day you should wake up and know exactly what to do. And everything you do should trace back up to serving that personal vision, okay? Step 4 is evaluate. Every month and every quarter, you need to evaluate your progress because a lot of things can happen in a month and a lot of things can happen in a quarter, okay? So you just need to be real. You need to look at your numbers. You need to look at how things are panning out, and you need to make adjustments. And this is why I don't spend a lot of time on annual goals or even think about quarterly goals beyond just knowing what the number is outside of the quarter that I'm currently working in. Because if you think too big picture, you get tied up in things that may change, may shift, and you're just wasting your time when you could be focused on what's happening right now. And then once that month is over, you evaluate, you say, cool, my goal was to get 1,000 people to my opt-in page this month. These are the actions that I took to do that. Did that work? Did I get 1,000? Did I get 500? Did I get 2,500? Like, what happened? Did the action plan work? If it did, cool. Am I just gonna repeat it again the next month? If so, hell yeah, that's awesome. And I'll tell you, that was a beautiful place to be. If you didn't get there, then you say, okay, cool. What can I do differently? What worked? What didn't? What am I gonna stop doing next month? What am I gonna start doing next month to hit my next action plan, right? To fulfill my next action plan. So every month you wanna evaluate that. And then you wanna evaluate things on a bigger scale on a quarterly basis, okay? And that is overall company revenue, profits, overall, just all the moving pieces of your business. And something that I've been really, really big on for, I think on some level I've been big on this for years. I think I've really become aware of it in the last 12 months. And that is, how did this quarter feel? How did it feel? Was it heavy? Was it stressful? Was it overwhelming? And if so, were those temporary feelings, or were those a result of maybe a goal or an action plan that you thought was going to be really amazing, and now that you're actually putting it into practice, you're like, you know what? This isn't actually what I thought it was going to be. And I want you to really pay attention to your feelings and how what you're doing in your business on a daily, weekly, monthly basis is making you feel. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to hit that personal vision if what you're doing is making you feel in anything in a negative way, right? We didn't start a business to feel worse, okay? And I'm not saying there's not going to be periods of stress, there's not going to be periods of overwhelm. There absolutely is. But when you can kind of look at them from a lens of evaluating and recognize when those were temporary things, right? Like, oh yeah, I was a little stressed this month. I flexed my hustle muscle a little bit, got a lot done, but gosh, it was worth it. And that's going to set us up for the best and most amazing next 3 months ever. Like, that's one thing. But if you're like, man, if I keep doing this, the stress is never going to go away. It's never going to get better. I've like created myself a job, or I've built myself into a position I no longer want to be in. That's when things really start to just not be good and not feel good. And they need to change. You've got to evaluate and make updates. All right. So that right there is my 4-step decision-making process that I use in literally everything in my business. And once a quarter, I evaluate the whole business, every piece of it. And I say, what's working, what's not working. And really, I ask myself those 4 questions. What's working, what's not working? What am I going to start doing? What am I going to stop doing in this next quarter? And it all leads back to the personal vision. Because the personal vision takes priority over everything else. It takes priority over what you sell and how much money you make and like every aspect of your business. Your personal vision takes priority over all of it. Because what good is it to have this business that's cranking out all this revenue, that's, growing like crazy, that's doing all this stuff, if at the end of the day, it's not serving and creating your personal vision? If you don't have the health, the happiness, the relationships, the personal self-worth, the environments that you desire on a personal level, if that business isn't contributing to that, then what's the point, right? So everything that we do has got to serve our long-term vision. So that's it. Create your personal and business vision. From there, create annual, quarterly, and monthly goals that serve that vision. From there, create a monthly, weekly, daily action plans that serve that quarterly goal, and then evaluate it on a monthly and quarterly basis. Evaluate everything that you do. And over time, you will hone in, and you will develop the strategy, and you will develop the systems, and you'll be able to look back and you'll say, wow, you know what? I had some false starts. I had some missteps. I had some obstacles along the way. But oh my gosh, I still was able to create the life that I really wanted, the lifestyle that I wanted to live. I made that a priority, and look at me, I did it. And that's what being an entrepreneur is really all about. So if you got value from this video today, I'm so big on like calls to action. I tell everybody, you gotta put call to action in all your content, right? I don't really have a funnel that I'm gonna send you to today or anything like that. But if you got value from this video today, I would really appreciate it if you would drop me a comment in the comments and just let me know, what was your biggest takeaway? What was your biggest aha? What did you really get out of this video today? If you have questions, if you have something that you'd like me to teach on in a future episode, drop it in the comments. Let me know. Say, Jordan, man, this is awesome. Can you talk to me more about what I should be posting on social media to drive that traffic? Can you talk to me more about funnels? Can you talk to me more about offers? Like, what do you want to learn about? What do you want to know about? Let me know in the chat below or the comments below. And most of all, just thank you for being here and thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next episode.